Hey traders, and welcome to MPS tips video. In today's video I will show you the new functions that MPS 5.52 has, and it is already available for download, and I hope that you will enjoy your update. You can download the new updated files using the download link that I've sent you in email. Actually, it is the same link that you downloaded your old versions, but clicking that link you will get a new version. It is absolutely free. Your old license keys will be valid. They will be active, so you don't need to pay for anything. Okay, so this update is free. I updated MPS and I updated FastBacktest, so I think you will enjoy these updates. And let me explain what's new in 5.52 version. Let me open my 5.52. Okay, I need to attach a license. I don't remember my license key, that's why I simply load the preset. Okay, so there are three functions added: inverse, show targets, and offset. I think I already explained the inverse and show targets in my previous videos, but today I will simply repeat what are these functions and completely new the offset function. By default, this one is false, this one is true, and this one is false. So let us see what happens when we run our indicator. So what we have predefined patterns, advanced formations enabled, so we can, as usual, we can switch them on and off, and we see stop loss and target levels. So these are the targets, and below we have stop losses. Of course, if you have backtested and you found that these patterns are not reversals patterns, but they are better the continuation patterns, and this is why you need the inverse function. If you use that inverse function, see what happens. It turns upside down. Instead of your take profit, you have stop loss, then you have target 1 and target 2 below, as if it is a continuation. So this is the inverse function of the MPS. Pretty useful function. Okay, next function that I wanted to discuss is this function that is called show targets. Just switch that. Let me move that back. You just switch that off and you won't have any targets. You will simply have only one stop loss level. Pretty convenient if you use Fibonacci for target measuring. Here we have 382, 618, or whatever level of your Fibonacci series. Very useful. Simply switch that targets off. And the last function is an offset. An offset is some wonderful functions that are found, and it is very useful. So we will simply switch that to true, and you will see that instead of simple line we have a rectangle that appears here. So it is giving us a 10% buffer zone where you can execute your trade 10% earlier, because I noticed in my backtest that in many times patterns start, the movements start, the reversals earlier, so this 10% buffer acts nicely. Let me disable these patterns, I dislike them, and let me enable custom pattern. And let's go to this custom pattern settings in MPS Pro, and let me set the parameters of that custom pattern. So the B point should be 382, the C point should be 786, this one 382 to 1, okay, 786, 105, okay, it suits me. Nice. Disable other patterns, and you see they all have this stuff. If I scroll it back into history, we see that price touches that and then reverses. Maybe it is not enough to hit the 382. Oh yes, it is enough to hit the 382. So what looks like a loser yes, what looks like a loser if you enter at official completion actually can turn into winner. There are so many situations of that when it starts the movement earlier. Then I was amazed to find out these things. Okay, so this is what I updated in MPS, and I also have an update for FastBacktest utility. So let me attach the FastBacktest. I'm using the local version, which is Russian, and I will use the algorithm as usual, and I will use, here we have the target options. We can either have the inbuilt targets, which are those that are provided by MPS, if we have any, yes, and we can have our own, which are fibs. So let's start from inbuilt targets, and in inbuilt targets we should use codings, and target 1 is coded as target 12. So you see, in this way you will have one-to-one risk to reward. So 5-digit is true. Then spread, I added spread, so these are 6 decimals of pips. This is not 6 pips, it is 6 decimals of pips. And you can also specify even further, but I don't think that it is specified that very much. And then what else? And an offset, you can set that true or false. If you set this to true, this means that you are placing your entry at the beginning of an offset zone. If you set that false, that this means that you are placing your entry at a standard completion. Okay, so let me use it the way I said. Also, guys, let me go to indicator settings and go to MPS Pro and enable my targets, because I enabled inbuilt targets in the FastBacktest. It won't work if I don't have targets drawn on my chart by MPS. Okay, they should coincide, they should be synchronized. If you are going to use inbuilt targets, make sure that the MPS is displaying any targets. And let's do kind of backtest. I will simply scroll it back into history to find a few patterns maybe. Okay, this one was a stop loss, went through this, and let me use it. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, 1, 2, 3. This was a loss. Then we go here. This one had this completion. Yes, 1, 2, 3. This was a win. This one is pound yen pair. Okay, this one completed, was a winner. This one didn't complete, and this one completed, and it was a winner. See this white candle that hits green line, so this one completed, and it was a winner as well. Okay, enough for that. Let's examine the output file. If we go here, we'll go to MQL4. We should find files, and we should go to find this prex pound yen 30 minute. I suppose this was the backtest that we were doing. So you have time, you have entry, you have offset, you have stop loss, you have target, you have risk to reward, and of course you have the result. And the result is it is your take profit distance, or it is your stop loss distance included spread, and the spread is set in settings. I just set 6 decimals of pips, but it is spread. Well, what else? And the rest is the same. So if you wish to calculate this, of course the entry was shifted by the offset. That's why we have that risk to reward, which is almost negative. So let's do the calculation. So this cell equals entry minus stop. So this is the result. Yes, it is 17.8 pips. Let me do it this way. Okay, we should multiply 100 because it is yen. 17.8 pips, yes, and we should also add some offset to it, so it should be this minus this. Okay, so sorry, it should be equals this minus this. Okay, now it is 22, yes, and we should also add some spread to it, so it equals this minus 0.6 as our spread, and that's why the result is minus 22.6. You see, it is increased by offset and by spread. And the same stuff with take profit. So let's calculate the naked take profit. It is our entry minus our target. Yes, of course it should be multiplied 100 because we're dealing with yen pairs. This equals this minus offset, of course. Yes, so it is decreased, it became less, and now we should detract some spread, which is 0.6 as I said, so it is 13.6. I suppose it should have some decimals, that's why it is rounded to 13.7 in MPS in FastBacktest. Okay, so you see that it already includes spread and it already includes the offset. If your offset is set to 0, so let me delete the stuff. If the offset is set to 0, let's go and set it to 0. FastBacktest, the offset set to false. And I never had that spread of 6. We have spread 19, 17. So let's type 17. So this is the spread, 1.7 pips. It means 1.7 pips. And let's scroll it back. Let's do kind of backtest. So this one is this, and it is a winner. And this one is this, and it is a winner as well. Let's go to see our output file, and we will see the changes. Go here, go to this file. Again, you see this was the line that I started after changing this, changing the parameters of the FastBacktest indicator. So now what we have, the offset is 0, yes, and the risk to reward is still, it is not that bad in the beginning when we calculated the offset, but it is still negative because of spread. You can also set spread to 0 as well, and it will be exactly 1-to-1. Okay, so let's do the calculation. It equals the entry minus target, because it was a take profit, and we should multiply it 100. Okay, so this was let it be ABS, the absolute value. It was 21 pips, yes. So then if we detract some spread, which was 1.7, I suppose, yes, so it should be 19.3, so exactly coincides, simply the difference in spread. The naked take profit is 21, with spread it was 19.3. Okay, let's go back, let's go here, and now I want to show you amazing stuff that was never released before, something that I was working at, I don't know, for several months already, bearing this idea in my mind and formulating this idea. Okay, so what is it? You go to FastBacktest and you switch the inbuilt target into FIPS, yes. Then you go to your targets, and instead of typing the target code, you type the value of Fibonacci, for example 0.32. It is your target, 5 digits. Okay, let the spread be here, and let you also have an offset, so let it be an offset there, as we just agreed. As I'm going to use a Fibonacci target, I don't need inbuilt targets of MPS, so I'll go to disable targets of the MPS like this. I I should have disabled these patterns as well. Okay, now so this is the tutorial how you use it. You first stretch your Fibonacci. This is number 1, yes, at the completion level. Then you press B, then you press candle, then you press the pattern, and then you say if it is a winner or loss. This time it was a winner. After that, this is mandatory. Delete the Fibonacci. You should only have one Fibonacci which is active. And then you go to the next pattern. So this is your next pattern. You stretch your Fibonacci once again, yes. Then you start typing down the pattern, the same procedure as you do it here, and then you delete the Fibonacci. The only difference that you first draw Fibonacci, then you record the pattern exactly the same way as you did with previous version of FastBacktest, and then you delete Fibonacci. It is very important, delete before. Otherwise it may take values from your previous Fibonacci and it will be not correct. Every new pattern, every new Fibonacci. Now let's go to our output file. We'll go to open data folder again, open MQL4, open files. This time we were using the offset, but the targets was Fibonacci target. And you can see very nice risk to reward using targets, sometimes better, sometimes worse, depending on an offset and depending on a spread, of course, yes, offset and spread, but sometimes better, sometimes worse. You see the targets are dynamic. Here we had almost the same, 1.57, 57. It is something that is pretty common, the average one, 0.57 risk to reward if you use the offset and your, what is it, spread, offset plus spread. Here you only had one spread, 0.8, and here you have dynamic because of dynamic targets. What it means, dynamic targets, it means that initially you can set your target here from the A point to your entry. We suppose that we enter with an offset, yes, but then as price dips lower and lower and lower, you restrict your target and it goes lower and lower and lower, so until you have this very small target level. So this is called dynamic targets. Well, that's it. For those of you who like Fibonacci targets, this will be very valuable. The rest is the same, pretty much the same. If you already did the backtest with MPS and FastBacktest, it is very simple. As for trading, I'm using the pattern trade assistant, and I do it this way. I stretch the Fibonacci's, placing this at my offset zone. I'm also hitting that stop loss, marking the stop loss, and then I go to use my, where is my expert advisor, which is called pattern trade assistant, and I use my trading set, and it should be a position size of 0.01 in order not to risk very much. 0.32, pretty standard. 0.61a. So this is the pattern trade assistant. So if I want to trade from this offset, I simply stretch my Fibonacci from A to the offset, yes, and simple pattern trade assistant will do its work. You see it is opening two halves. First is this and second is this. And if you enable target adjustment here, yes, and if you enable break even here as well, then if price goes higher, for example, it goes higher and higher and higher, and then it reverses, you don't need to restrict targets. MPS will automatically move them. Even if you don't restrict target, it will automatically move the targets, and if it hits the first target, it will automatically break even the trading position, so you will have 0 for the second half. Okay, so these are pretty standard pattern trade assistant functions that you can watch in the video about the pattern trade assistant on my website. Well, now that's it. As I say, this update already done, and you can download this using the download links. And if you like it, comment below saying what you think about it. Maybe you find some bugs, and I will need to work on that versions to improve them. I want feedbacks from you. So how do you think? What do you think about it? And until then, good luck and good trading. Hope to see you soon.